Hey internet, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of the John Graves Show. This was actually a very interesting one. Destiny's sequel was originally intended to be released this month, and going from some online court documents following the legal dispute between Bungie and longtime Bungie employee Marty O'Donnell, sequels for the sci-fi shooter referred to as Project Tiger were planned for every other year. Until 2019, with the largest downloadable content product for comment read for Destiny 4 in 2020. So in terms of how this was actually supposed to go was that the first, or at least like we get our hands on Destiny the game, and we get the first 20% of the story, and then or at least the way how I'm thinking about it is that like we get the physical copy, which is the first, like I would say it's the first story of the game, or at least like you got the disc of the story that's on the disc. It gets you so far, and then you gotta wait for the DLC, and then that's when what the fuck is that shit called? The King's Tomb. 1 second. Then this month we get the Taken King, and then which is another 20% of the story, and then 2 years from that, and then 2 years from that, and then the last year will be like a conclusion story, or at least that's the way how I'm thinking it. Of like you have the disc story, or pretty much it's sort of like looking at it like, I know that I've been dropping Metal Gear a lot this week, but it's like looking at it in like the Metal Gear terms of saying like, okay, you have Metal Gear Solid is just the disc. Okay, and then some download shit comes out like 2 years later, and you can just download it straight onto that disc, and then it pushes the story a little bit more, and then you have a brand new character, you have a brand new story in it, and everything goes on until like 2 years later when they drop Metal Gear Solid 3, which is a prequel, and it sort of sets the bonds going on for what's going on. And then the fourth game is Metal Gear Solid 4, the one that's like at the end. And I believe that the comment would have either been Metal Gear Solid 5, the game in which that we have right now, or they take all of the portable games and all the like handheld games, and they just pool all of them together to try and like fill in the blanks for this entire story, and they throw in Metal Gear and everything else. Honestly, I would think that man probably would fucking destroy your disc and also your fucking PlayStation. But really thinking about it though, is that like that's something that I really would have liked to actually see, because I see that now going on for the for like all the games that Telltale has been doing, and the same thing goes for Life is Strange, and even looking at Resident Evil 2 and shit. It's like you can make games like that if you can dedicate the time to actually just making one game, and then dedicating the other time to actually just trying to like spread out the fucking story DLC, and then say, okay, instead of it just being like a 40-hour thing, it can be like a 10-hour thing, or better yet, even like a 20-hour thing, adding like way more missions, another story, all this other stuff. And honestly, you do fucking see this. You do fucking see shit like this carried out for JRPG games, in which they're like, once the game is finished, then they'll just re-release the game like somewhere else, or at least like in a combination pack with like it having all of the story stuff in it, or them having like all of the extra DLC, all the extra costumes, and all the extra money and all the rest of this other stuff in there. I mean, like that's pretty much what Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne is. Because technically, when that game first came out, Dante wasn't in it, or neither was Raito Kuzunoha. But like once they fuck with it a little bit, then they came out with like the fucking Ultimates, or at least like the Lucifer's Call version. They just shipped the normal version over to us, the one that had all the fucking downloads and extra shit in it, of course. But for something like this, I do like it. But the only problem with it is the fact that only giving somebody 20% of the story, Destiny, it feels as though that Destiny really doesn't even give you the fucking entire the very first 20%. Because if that's 20% of a fucking story, I'm like, most of that shit is just combat and crucible shit. The Crucible is just player versus player, which is very difficult to fuck up in the first place. But I'm like, in the actual fucking PVE shit, the one where like you actually have partners and you're going up against like the planet itself, all that feels a bit limiting. But that is what I gotta say about that. Please tell me what do you think about this down there in the comment section. Catch you guys on the next John Graves show. Please keep watching anime, keep playing video games. I'm out.